Internet, and welcome to Rob Reviews, the movie review where I play a video game and talk about a movie I just saw. This week's game is Fortnite Chapter 5 Season 4. I'll be playing in pubs, unranked, and the movie is Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, released in 2024. It's directed by Tim Burton and written by Miles Millar, Alfred Goh, and I think there's one other writer, but I don't know. I don't know who it is. It stars Michael Keaton, Catherine O'Hara, Winona Ryder, Jenna Ortega, and Willem Dafoe, among many. Oh, I missed Monica Bellucci. Come on, Monica Bellucci. When was the last time you saw her? So let's get this game and review started. So I do have a history with the movie Beetlejuice. As a child, I saw it, I guess, at a babysitter's house. I don't think that's something that my mom would have really been with the crass humor and language. And I did run around telling people about their model and honking a horn as a kid. So that's part of what's wrong with me. And then, interestingly enough, the last time I saw Beetlejuice was a VHS tape on an old CRT TV, back in 2015 or 2016, at a punk rock flop house in Seattle after playing a show while on tour. Yeah, somebody had given me some really good, delicious banana bread, and that's all I'll say about that. I've got a history where I've seen the first movie multiple times. I grew up with it. Anyway, as a long-standing sequel that happened, 36 years later, Beetlejuice Beetlejuice definitely feels like it has gone through some different iterations of writing. Like, it almost feels like it was written right away. Parts of it were written right away. Some jokes seem so steeped in the time period of when the first movie came out. It's hard not to notice those kinds of things, but only if you grew up with a childhood like Mike TV, as I did. There's references to old 70s TV shows, and what else was there? There was definitely, I think there was a Happy Days joke. At first, the writing wasn't super funny. Jenna Ortega's doing her Wednesday, I guess. I didn't actually finish the first episode of that show. I don't know. It wasn't bad. I didn't think it was good. So I don't know. It's just not a Wednesday review. Point being, she's here. She's doing pretty good. Actually, that's not true. I thoroughly enjoyed getting to see Jenna Ortega and Catherine O'Hara at the same time. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of that. I'm starting to notice a pattern in these long-running past sequels that finally happen, and that's how everything has to be stuffed in. Obviously, there's going to be lots of Easter eggs and nods to the first film. They're never overly obnoxious, except that, or maybe we just don't notice anymore because we notice the ones that are very obnoxious. The story is fine, it works well. I feel like we might be seeing two different stories coming together a little bit. In some ways, this is suffering from what other reboots, sequels, longtime sequels suffer from, which is a little bit of bloat, a little bit of too much happening. It comes in well under 2 hours, the film, but there still seems to be a lot trying to happen within this storyline that might just not fit very well together, or doesn't give a lot of time for things. One of the more fair critiques of Alien Romulus is things that happen where, it seems like the aliens might take a little bit longer to gestate in humans from the first movie to Romulus. I did recently watch Covenant and noticed, they compressed the time on that too. So now it just feels like a symptom of the audience already knows, and we know the audience knows, so we just want to get to running to the meat of things. Which at times I kept thinking, when are we going to get to Beetlejuice? But then I remembered, the heart of that first movie isn't that we get to Beetlejuice right away or in any fast time, even though that is the fun part of the movie. But that we're actually kind of dealing with a movie about death, and there is a little bit of that here. Again, I don't feel like things get to be too developed all the time, which is a little bit of a bummer. Because you have a really good cast here. At the end of the day, Catherine O'Hara is an absolute gem. She's hilarious and so funny, and you almost just wish you could have had the 3 Dietz women a little bit more without having to put in too much more story. Visually, everything looks great. We're in practical territory, baby. This consistently, outside of some of the age of the characters, and even then I don't know that even matters since it is retrospective, but everything looks fantastic. They use a lot of practical effects. I think I noticed like a couple of digital ones, and really they were so benign, the digital effects and the CGI, that nothing really took me out. I was just happy to see puppets. That was also another complaint about Romulus for me. I figured like, well, if you have a busted up android, maybe that's been sitting there for a while, maybe the face has had some plastic rot or whatever, and they're gonna use a puppet for this. They didn't. That's enough comparing it to other movies. How was the script? Well, things feel a little bit messy. It's mostly straightforward, and I feel like some things resolve in a rush a little bit. At first, the humor was kind of not hitting for me, but I found the last sequence to be hilarious, maybe just because I had been thinking about the song. Oh, and if this doesn't like give Richard Marx's cheesy pop 80s music, which again, that had to have been an earlier reference because I'm sure that Tim Burton severely disliked, I don't know if he disliked the song, but I know he thought it was schmaltzy nonsense, but it was so perfect in the film and it was hilarious to hear it. And I'm glad that another generation of kids are going to hear it again. It's probably like a childhood guilty pleasure song for me personally. Man, it was so funny. That like it must have hit a lot of the right notes for me because I had a good time. I wasn't, some of the jokes I was written weren't the funniest things in the world, but overall, like the sequences, I dug the musical sequence there in the film. I loved all the crazy outfits and puppeted characters. Like, oh, that was so fun. Oh, great. Here we go. This guy. Where's this guy going? Whew. Didn't really stand a chance against any of that, I suppose. See how these two go. That dude's so dead. That dude can't hit for nothing. Yeah, I mean, this is gonna be super short, I guess, but overall, it was a firm watch. I feel like some things got shorted a little bit. I wish there had been a little more character development for some things, and the ability to kind of sit in a story with a little more maybe heart to it a bit. There was something there they were trying to work at, but it kind of got overtaken by the need to have other things and other plots going on. Willem Dafoe is hilarious though, and I think that's where the strength of this film lies, that it's really funny. It's a humorous romp. It's completely absurd. It reminds me a little more of the cartoon, which I liked, but I also didn't like. It felt like the cartoon was always a bottle episode, which if you don't know what that is, look it up. This, on the other hand, has a larger world. It feels more expanded, and I do appreciate most of the characters as they are in the movie. I think you should check it out. It was a lot of fun, a lot of good laughs, and I'd love to hear if you saw Beetlejuice. Anyway, thanks for hanging out here on Rob Reviews. You can check out my channel, Rob's Not Playing, on twitch.tv/holidayrob. I promise my performances are much better than this. I got totally geeked right now. But yeah, we'll see you next time here on the review. Peace out and enjoy the movies. Thanks.